Cordial regards, tutor and mates. My name is Diana Cañón. I'm 26 years old. I live in the town Ciénaga de Oro in Córdoba. I belong to the SEAT Sagún. I study foreign language with emphasis in English. And this time I will be doing the corresponding support of the Phase 5 called Practice Significant of the Testing and Evaluation in ELT course, which contains a theoretical part and a practice part. Okay, with the objectives of this sustentation is intended to support the immersion process that I was carrying out during the academic period, taking the most important part of my practical experiences of the 5 phases of the course and demonstrating the appropriation in the development of applicable tests in virtual and face-to-face learning environments throughout the analysis of education context, theoretical concepts, and the use of tools that facilitate the teaching and learning process in English as a foreign language. Well, for this opportunity, I was assigned to the Virtual Institute of Language at UNAT, now in Bill. More specific to the UNAT Kids program, which teaches level of English to children from 7 to 12 years old in the virtual distance modality. Okay, I had the valuable and gratificating supervision of the director Ana Milena Morales, and the number of students were groups that didn't exceed the 10 students, which guarantees a fairly personal education, right? Well, this is why I would like to start respectively with the phase number 1, which was intended to identify the various types of tests and evaluations in English as a foreign language throughout the analysis of different sources of the course, giving me the opportunity to influence on a very important way to reflect based on each one of the questions about my experience as a teacher in training throughout the education context. Regarding the phase number 2, I must say that I was able to satisfactorily develop these activity designs. I was able to design different types of tests, right, technology tools for children according to the needs of the education context. So I had to read the research a lot about different evaluation instruments. I think very carefully about which one to implement, for which I designed 2 standard tests for my group which belong to the virtual environment modality, and I modified them to apply them to face-to-face environment if it is necessary, right? Let's continue with the phase number 3 to applying the standard states, the standardized test for the virtual environment with the students according to the needs of the educational context and the correct protocol, of course. It was quite a challenge given the modality of the exam and the time I had to use it, and for, of course, I wanted to achieve it in its entirety with the closer instrument and establish action for a good active participation of my students. Well, here I would really like to add that I choose a diagnostic assessment as the evaluation instrument. That the truth is that it was much easier to do the analysis on the students, in addition to the fact that it was very fun, fascinating, and enriching to interact with the students and get to know their answers. Well, the phase number 4, of course, the level of complexity of the course increased, and I found myself with a challenge that I think that no one that make it on the most of terms of the experience acquired to develop myself professionally, and I was to develop my internship process in situations simulated and on the teaching and learning of the English language, right? it made me see the value of assessment as pedagogical tool and allowed me to have a teaching model focused on the diversity of students, since it allows all of them to have the same opportunity to be evaluated seen from a much more equitable perspective, right? Well, arriving to the phase number 5. What is this? Which has allowed me to reflect on the long road I have traveled to get here, and to get here how much I have learned to value the diversity of our students and the technological tools. I would like to add all the above would not have been possible without the great reception given to this wonderful course. I also found it totally enriching. I really like it having been able to take this course, and I can only thanks to the tutor Patricia, who are always dear for me. In particular, a comment of the institution, the teacher Ana Milena contributed significantly to my professional life. With all the experience that he has management of the distance education, to understand everything that is involved in giving a class throughout this medium, and the consideration when talking about evaluation in this context. So in addition, in English, of course, understanding my actions as a teacher in training, being a transforming agent of the reality of my students, as well as how to break the barriers of distance and teach with quality. I changed the perspective of education for my personal life. Well, the final of my sustentation, I hope to have expressed everything related to my learning during the immersion practice process carried out in this academic period, concluding that I now clearly identify the types of evaluation, and that I know how I can use it to examine the knowledge of my students, determining that what was learned or still needs to be reinforced and based on the result of an assessment, of course. Well, that is all for today. Thanks for your attention. I hope that you really like this video, and thank you so much. Bye.